Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. My name is DRL, and we are here with some NBA 2K Mobile. So the Rainmakers team is officially back in the game. It is making its return for Season 5. And I'll give you a little sneak peek. There's a brand new Amber Stephen Curry, which is available to get without spending any money inside the game. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and say it's free, because you're going to have to grind a lot, right? It is the final event reward for the Fantasy Finals, which is usually one of the longest events to grind. But I'm just being honest, right? And that's why I haven't been using that word in my titles recently, because playing the no money spend account, I definitely realize how much of a grind it is to get these rewards. So I'm not going to sit here and say it's free when you're investing a lot of your time. But enough with that. Let's jump into this new theme. There are some new players and there are some really crazy cards, especially if you missed out on some in the last event. All right, so the first one we're going to kick off is a Luke Kennard Pink Diamond. He is craftable with one collectible. Looking at his stats right now, he is a shooting guard, right? You usually want your shooting guards to be able to drive to the rim and also hit a jump shot. Luke Kennard can definitely shoot, right? That's his game. But if you are going to build him out and use him on your team, you got to boost up that defending, right? 2 in defending is too low for your shooting guard. And you got to bring up his playmaking, agility, and his layups and dunks. Most of the players in this team have the Gear Master ability, so they will get 20% extra gear points. This is really a great way to grind your shoes. By using these players in events or head-to-head, you can get a lot of gear points and unlock the next attributes for those shoes. We got a Pink Diamond Steve Kerr. If you were to bring up some stats for Steve Kerr, I will bring up his layups, his dunks, his defending, playmaking, and agility. 3-point shot in mid-range is already 5. I mean, Kerr at one point had the best 3-point percentage in NBA history. Next, we got Grant Williams. For a power forward, he's pretty decent. And he stands out with that 5 and 3-point shot. If you were to bring up some of his stats, bring up his rebounding, right? Because right now it's a 4. And bring up his layups and dunks, because his 3-point shot's already good. And if you want to bring up the mid-range and defending, you can do that as well. Next, we got a brand new Keegan Murray. We haven't seen him in a bit. His Obsidian card was pretty good, right? We featured him in a Worth the Hype video way in the beginning of the series where we just did one player at a time. And if that's something you want me to go back to doing, let me know in the comments, right? I've been doing Worth the Hype for the rewards because that format has been working, right? It gives you guys an idea of what event rewards to grind for, how the players are, and help you make a better decision. But if you want the player spotlight videos where I just go crazy with just one player and tourneys, let me know, because I have been seeing those comments come up. I want to be able to give y'all content that you want to see as well, right? So Keegan Murray is craftable. Pretty good stats overall, in my opinion, and is a good player. I enjoyed using Keegan Murray. Your small forward should be able to pass the rock pretty well. And if you could bring up his mid-range shooting and his layups and dunks, he'll be pretty solid. Next, we got Christian Wood. He's a gem in his game for the center position. He's got a 5 and 3-point shot, 5 in layups and dunks, 5 in strength, and 5 in rebounding. So center-wise, he's got some really good stats. If you are going to boost up anything, I would bring up his defending, because right now it's a 4, and bring up his playmaking. You want that to be a little bit higher, right? You want your players to be able to move without the ball a little bit faster. And if you could bring up his mid-range, because he is really good on the pick and pop. Next, we got Devin Booker, always a fan favorite. He's got a 5 in shoot-off dribble, mid-range shooting, 3-point shot. If you were to boost up anything for Booker, I would probably bring up his agility and playmaking, defending, and layups and dunks. Next, we got Antawn Jamison. This guy is a gem. Definitely underrated, and coming in with a dark matter with 63,000 power, he still can be a power forward you can use on your lineups. So Antawn Jamison got a 5 and 3-point shot, post scoring, mid-range shooting, rebounding, and strength. I'm telling you, this guy is a gem for sure. If you are going to boost up some stats, bring up his playmaking, defending, and if you could, bring up his layups and dunks, and he'll be really solid for your squad. Next, we got Desmond Bane. He is craftable. He's got a 5 and 3-point shot, mid-range. If you could bring up some stats, I will boost up his playmaking and his layups and dunks. Aside from that, his shooting stats are pretty good for the small forward position. Next, we got the Beard James Harden. Coming in with a dark matter as well. This is great for newer players for sure. The Beard is one of the best shooting guards inside his game. Some people have him as number 1. I can't dispute that because he has the highest stat average in the game, him and Tracy McGrady. But he's definitely one of the top tier shooting guards, no question. If you're going to build him out, it really would just be to your play style, because he's got a 5 in so many categories, right? Shoot off dribble, agility, playmaking, 3-point shot, and mid-range shooting. So you could bring up his layups and dunks and his defending. That's about it. Next, we got Peja Stojakovic, one of the best shooters inside this game. Next, we got Peja Stojakovic, one of the best shooters in the game. He's got a 5 in shoot off dribble, mid-range, 3-point shot, and agility. You're going to bring up some stats for Peja. It would be layups and dunks, playmaking, and defending. That's about it. We got Mr. Big Shot Chauncey Billups. Now, he has the dual ability. When you pair him up with Michael Porter Jr., he does get a boost. And I think Peja also had a different ability. Him and James Harden have the team loyalty. Now, Chauncey Billups, very good overall. One of the best stats for the point guard position. 5 in shoot off dribble, mid-range, 3-point shot, agility, strength, playmaking, and defending. This guy is so good. If you are going to bring up some stats, it would be layups and dunks. That's really about it, because he's pretty elite. Then you got Drazen Petrovic. His Amber card was a lot of fun to use, and I'm still happy that he's in the game. And now that he's a Topaz, a lot of new players could try him out, especially since he's craftable. Definitely a bucket getter. I featured him in a gameplay video when the Amber cards drop. He's got 5 in shoot off dribble, mid-range, 3-point shot. If you are going to bring up some stats, it would be agility, playmaking, and defending. Next is Jade Miles Turner, who's craftable as well. He's got a 5 in mid-range. He's got a 5 in mid-range, and then the rest of the stats are fairly okay. I would actually think that he would be a player that would get a 5 in defending because of his shot blocking ability. So if you were to bring up some stats for him, I would bring up his layups and dunks, his defending, his post scoring, and his playmaking and agility. Next, we got Michael Porter Jr. Good player overall, right? He has a fairly decent stat average. He's got a 5 in 3-point shot, a 5 in agility. Aside from that, though, his stats are pretty good, right? He's got a lot of 4s. So if you are going to bring up some stats for him, I would bring up his playmaking. I would bring up his mid-range shooting, his layups and dunks, and his defending. Next is Klay Thompson, one of the best shooters inside this game. 5 in defending, 5 in mid-range shooting, 5 in shoot-off dribble, 5 in 3-point shot. Klay is so good. If you are going to bring up some stats for Klay, boost up his layups and dunks and boost up his agility or playmaking. Next, we got Kristaps Porzingis, one of the best players for head-to-head. Really good power forward. He's got a 5 in mid-range, 5 in 3-point shot, post scoring. So if you want to bring up some stats for him, it would be defending, rebounding, and layups and dunks. Next is Dale Ellis. I think Dale Ellis is a new player to the game. He was a bucket getter back in the day. And you can see his stats are real good. 5 in mid-range, 5 in 3-point shot, 5 in shoot-off dribble, 5 in agility. And basically everything else is a 4 except for playmaking. So he is a really good card. If you are going to boost him some stats, considering he's a shooting guard, you can bring up his layups and dunks, his defending, and bring up his playmaking. Next, we got a Pro Steve Nash. A little underrated in my opinion. His gameplay is a lot better than what his stats show. But if you are going to bring up some categories for Nash, bring up his layups, his defending, and he's craftable as well. Karl-Anthony Towns, one of the top centers inside this game. 5 in 3-point shot, rebounding, post scoring. So you definitely can score for your squad. If you're going to bring up some stats, I would bring up his playmaking slightly, his defending, his agility, and then boost up his mid-range because he's another good pick and pop player. We got Mr. Ray Allen, craftable, really sweet jump shot in this game. He has a really good release. His stats could be a little better though, right? Because he's got a 3 in layups and dunks, and he was a slasher, especially if this is the Milwaukee Bucks. Ray Allen, that's when he really was going to the rim a lot. His shooting stats are right where they need to be. They're both a 5. Shoot off dribbles a 5. Playmaking can go up. Agility can go up as well, and defending. Now, if you missed out on Amber Kevin Durant, you got a chance to get the Obsidian Kevin Durant, which is just as good. He's coming at 88,000 power, which is really high as well. KD is one of the best gameplays inside this game. One of the elite small forwards. So if you're going to get him, he's definitely worth the grind. And he's also an event reward for Fantasy Finals. So if you're going to grind an event, I would definitely grind that one because you're going to get 2 of the best players inside the game, right? The other one being Stephen Curry. So KD's got 5 in mid-range, 3-point shot, shoot-off dribble, and playmaking. If you're going to bring up some of his stats, I would maybe bring up layups and dunks, defending, and maybe his agility. Next, we got Vince Carter, half man, half amazing. Raptors fans, I know y'all hype. He's got a 5 in shootout, dribble, layups, dunks, mid-range, agility. One of the most fun cards to use inside his game for sure. He also has prime player ability, which means his power is increased by 25% when this card has the greatest power in your lineup. So if you're going to bring out something for Vince Carter, it would be defending, playmaking, and just boost up his three-point shot. We got another Dirk Nowitzki. I don't know why this keeps happening, man. I feel like he's in every other team. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. Dirk is a great player and do enjoy using Dirk Nowitzki. I would really prefer a new power forward. Like, all honesty, I would have liked if Antoine Jamison was the power forward, because that is a card that not a lot of people know is really good, a gem in this game. And if he was a Amber, for sure you would have been seeing him in head-to-head go crazy. And I'm going to tell you right now, Antoine Jamison's gameplay is better than Dirk Nowitzki's. Y'all can take that how you want it, but Antoine Jamison is the real deal, I'm telling you. But Dirk is solid too, right? Definitely one of the elite power forwards. If you didn't get the courtside pass Giannis, then this is a card you want to add to your squad. So Dirk's got a 5 in shoot-up, dribble, mid-range, three-point shot, post-scoring, rebounding. You see he's solid, right? If you're going to boost up anything for Dirk, you got to boost up his agility, playmaking, and defending. Aside from that, one of the GOATs in the game. Last but not least, you got the Rainmaker. You got the Rainmaker, Stephen Curry. No one else is the undisputed Rainmaker, right? You could debate that Damian Lillard is, and I'm actually surprised he's not in his team, right? On a side note, especially he dropped 72 last night. I would have found a way to take someone else out and put Damian Lillard in his team. But hey, it didn't happen. Maybe next team we could get an Amber Damian Lillard. But aside from that, he's got the prime player ability. 5 in playmaking, agility, post-scoring, shootout, dribble. If you're going to boost up some stats for Curry, it would be layups and dunks and his defending. And then go crazy and try to max out his mid-range and three-point shooting, because this is the best shooter in the game. No point guard's gameplay comes close to Stephen Curry, for the exception of Damian Lillard, but that is it. Everybody else is good, great. Stephen Curry is elite, right? It's Curry, Damian Lillard, and Magic Johnson, right? Because Magic Johnson is elite on his own way, the best passer in the game, the best height for point guard, the best post-scoring point guard. He's elite in those categories. But aside from that, you want to grind fantasy finals if you have Curry as your final reward. If you don't, you got a week to get ready to get into Amber tier in order to try to get this Curry. This is definitely going to be the card you're going to be seeing in head-to-head. Now that we went over the theme, let's go over the set rewards and the upcoming event rewards. So the set reward is also Stephen Curry. So you need to get Desmond Bane, Drazen Petrovic, Miles Turner, Steve Nash, and Ray Allen in order to get another Stephen Curry. All right, so it says it right here. They're back. Rainmakers got next, featuring a Steph event card and a couple new faces in the game. Now, I know Dale Ellis was new. I'm not sure who the other player was. I got to go back and check. But either way, this is still a W theme, especially since we're coming off a very stacked All-Star theme. This Rainmakers theme was definitely refreshing, right? A lot of really good cards, a lot of gems for sure. So the first event is Gauntlet, right? You will get a chance to get that Dale Ellis. So I'll be excited to feature him in the Worth the Hype video. Karl-Anthony Towns and Dirk Nowitzki. I know what I said about Dirk, but he's still a card you like to have on your team. And then for the next event, we got Kristaps Porzingis for the Pearl, Obsidian Kevin Durant, and Stephen Curry. So for fantasy finals, you're getting 3 of the best cards for head-to-head just by grinding an event. But you got to invest a lot of time, right? Again, just being real with y'all. If you do have coins, this will be the event that you will want to use them, right? Because you got to play as many matches as you possibly can to finish the event. There's also a new announcement, right? It says also includes the debut of Mini Power Cap next week, which is cool. They're experimenting with rotating the Monday events. And I think that's a W, right? Because there are people that don't like domination, but there are people that are tired of Gauntlet, right? That's really what's happening. 2K is definitely paying attention, and they're bringing in a new event, which is the Mini Power Cap. That should be nice. Power Cap is a fun event, and it's an event that allows you to use all types of players on your team, right? You don't necessarily need team players, but it does help out, right? And it's also an event where your courtside pass players can help you out as well. So that's the new theme. Those are the new event rewards. I'm pretty hype about it, right? Rainmakers is always one of the most entertaining themes in the year. And I'm glad that it came right after the All-Star theme because it's basically back-to-back heat. So as always, I appreciate the support everyone's been showing on the channel. I will catch everybody in the next video. Peace out.